be king.
Listen to Philosophy Talk every Tuesday at noon on KSJE 90.9 FM, Farmington. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, which is officially baby-friendly. This evidence-based initiative is designed to support mother-baby bonding and optimal infant feeding practices by upholding the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. San Juan Regional Medical Center, officially baby-friendly, and serving the Four Corners since 1910. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. "11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, November the 4th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin, and thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air, of course, here in San Juan County. Now 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado, and everywhere streaming on our website at ksje.com. Good morning also to our viewers who are joining us live by watching the KSJE live stream on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. We are glad you're with us, everybody. Coming up in the next few moments, my guest here in the studio, Randy West, is here from the Farmington Civic Center. There are a lot of great events coming up this month. We'll be talking about all of them, and for our viewers, we'll be showing you the acts that are coming to stage at the Farmington Civic Center. So stay tuned for that, starting in the next few moments right here on KSJE. And then, of course, we'll round out the 8 o'clock hour this morning with our weekly technology segment, our Monday Reboot segment, coming up today at 8:50 a.m. right here. And then Mick Hess will be along, roving with the arts. Mick today is playing music from the great composer Bach. He is playing the Italian Concerto coming up today on Roving with the Arts. That will air at 9:06 a.m. Don't forget, of course, to connect with us on social media, like our Facebook page. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. We have two feeds, at KSJE_news or at KSJE. And, of course, connect with us on Instagram as well. A reminder, of course, tomorrow's Election Day. KSJE has interviewed all of the candidates running in contested races in both Farmington School District and the San Juan College Board of Trustees. You can find those interviews on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And, of course, we'll be sharing the election results with you tomorrow night after the polls close on our social media platforms. That's why we tell you to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter, because that's where you'll see all the election results as they come in Tuesday night. Weather forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, 62 for a high in Farmington. It'll be a bit warmer tomorrow with a high of 64. 64 with a chance of showers on Wednesday, and 61 with a chance of showers on Thursday. And overnight lows mostly in the 20s. So let me introduce my guest who is here with me this morning, back in the KSJE Visual Radio Studio. Randy West is here from the Farmington Civic Center. Randy, good morning.
Thank you, Scott. It's a pleasure, as always.
Thank you for coming in, and there you are.
I was Wally D there.
You were Wally D there. That was from Friday because I had the wrong microphone turned on, but now I see you and hear you. So
happy to be here.
It's good to have you here because you have a lot of things coming up in November.
November set up musically.
You really, really do, and so let's talk a little bit about some of this, because you've actually got a whole season of events happening, which we direct folks to the Farmington Civic Center website, where you can see the whole schedule and see what's coming. You've had a lot of great events so far.
We have. We're running a multiple series. We have a family and kids series, and that's so far we've done Todd Oliver and Spooktacular in that, and that's coming up in December. We're doing the next offering in that series, which is Christmas Carol, which is a national touring company bringing in a full production of A Christmas Carol. And then we also have the music and comedy series, which we've done, the Three Redneck Tenors have just been here, and we have two more offerings in that series this month. And then we also have the Intimate Broadway series that has had Churchill so far, and it has an offering this month. And then we also have the full Four Corners Musical Theater Company, which is a Farmington professional musical theater company that is doing 6 musicals this whole year, 3 musicals in this season. We've already done Musical of Musicals, and in February in that season, we're doing Next Disaster.
Okay, and so a lot of folks maybe their head are spinning, as is mine, because there's just so much. You have something almost every week. I would say.
Well, let's talk about November.
Yes, let's do that.
So coming up this weekend,
yes, exactly.
we have Ronnie Cox And Ronnie Cox is a movie star.
Yes.
He's been a movie star. He's been in over 200 movies. Back in the day, if you're old enough, during the days of Walton's, his TV series was Apple's Way, because they needed to get something that was family television about a family.
Right.
He played the head of that family. But
some of us of a certain age remember that show.
We do.
Yes, we do.
And but he's played the president many times. He was the villain in RoboCop and actually got shot out of the window by the RoboCop.
Right.
And but one of the first movie he did was a movie called Deliverance, and it's about four guys: Burt Reynolds, John Voight, and the person we can't remember.
I know. I can't remember that. I'm going to find it.
Someone will comment. All on a big canoe trip in a section of the United States that's about to be flooded. So if you don't go at the time that they're going, you'll miss your opportunity. And so these four guys go on this canoe trip, and
Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty.
Sorry, I just had to pass that along.
Really famous.
Yes.
All four of them.
You're very much.
Major movie stars.
Yes, sir.
And Ronnie Cox he was for somebody to play Drew, and Drew had to play the guitar.
Right.
And Ronnie, besides being an actor, has his whole life also been a folk performer.
Right.
And he plays guitar and he sings. And so that got him Deliverance. And when we were talking to him about coming into town to do a concert with his folk group, we were also talking about his experience, obviously, as a major movie star. And right now in Farmington, as you well know, we're really interested in drawing film and television shooting to our town.
That's right.
And so, and most of that is driven by how unique our environment is here. That most people would come to Farmington to shoot to be able to look at either a vista or Brent Garcia, my dear friend, would tell you that if you come here and look 360 degrees, you'll find a different environment almost every time you turn.
That's true.
And that's true of New Mexico, I think, in general, but specifically also of Farmington.
Sure.
And so the people that are going to come here are mostly going to have us shooting outdoors. Mm-hmm. And so all of Deliverance was shot on location, no studio shooting at all.
Okay.
And it was mostly on a river.
Right.
And they chose to shoot that whole movie in order, which is very rare, so that all of the four actors went through the experience of the movie in the same way the characters go through the movie, so that literally they shot the whole film in order. So the next thing that happened to the people in the movie was the next thing that happened to the actors doing the movie. And so Ronnie can talk about shooting on location and what's required of you and what's unique about that. And so on the 8th at 7:30 in one of our, not the big theater, but in a smaller room, Ronnie is going to show Deliverance.
Okay,
and
the movie
that he's in, and talk about what that experience was like. And that's only $15.
Okay.
So that, and we wanted to make that available for Farmington people that might be interested in what is this whole film and television thing like, and what is it like to shoot on location, to talk to somebody who's done it.
Right.
And then on the next night, he's doing a full concert with his band in the theater, and that's also at 7:30.
Okay.
And it's kind of, I would call it kind of folk, bluegrassy.
Okay.
Ronnie plays guitar. There's a guy that plays stringed instruments, and a guy that goes from a electric keyboard to our Baldwin Grand.
Okay.
So it's that kind of music, and then Ronnie and then the guys sing at the same time.
Gotcha.
And they do a certain amount of folk music that would be things that you might know or maybe you should know, and then also original work.
Right.
And Ronnie is from New Mexico, and last week he was inducted into the New Mexico Musicians Hall of Fame. So we thought while he was coming into New Mexico to receive a major award, that we should bring him up to Farmington and allow him to show Farmington why he is one of the favorite musicians of New Mexico.
As long as he's here, he might
Absolutely.
as well stop by and do a show.
Stop by and see the Civic Center.
Exactly. Well, we have a clip of Ronnie Cox performing with his group, the folk music, as you mentioned. So let's take a look, everybody. This is Ronnie Cox, who is coming to the Farmington Civic Center with his screening of the movie Deliverance. That'll happen Friday night.
Right.
And his concert will be here on Saturday night.
That's correct.
7:30, everybody. Let's take a look and a listen.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. True, you ride the finest horse I've ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wild and green. You ride the horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. When you ride into the night without a trace behind, run your claw along my gut one last time. I turn to face.
That is singer, movie star Ronnie Cox, who is appearing at the Farmington Civic Center later on this week. My guest Randy West is here from the Farmington Civic Center. Gives us a little bit of an idea of Ronnie's performance, right?
Right.
And that great folk style that you mentioned.
Absolutely, but he's a great storyteller.
Yes, and he'll tell some stories too during the show, won't he?
Yeah, it's a whole wrapped evening of storytelling and music.
Wonderful. And again, the movie screening is this Friday night at the Farmington Civic Center, everybody.
7:30, more intimate setting.
Right, and then the concert in the theater on Saturday night at 7:30. And tickets available at the website, which is fmtn.org/Civic Center.
Absolutely.
I've said that a million times. So.
Okay.
But there you go.
And then the next weekend,
yes,
on November 15th,
right,
we have a really exciting conglomerate concert.
You do. Yeah. So excited that they're coming to Farmington. Really. It's amazing because they're on this national tour.
Right.
And we are up there with other places of note, like places where people may be familiar with, like Tempe, Arizona, Houston, Texas, New Brunswick, New Jersey, Nashville, Tennessee, just to name a few, and Farmington, New Mexico on this tour.
Yes. And when this came up to me, and I started talking with the people that represent them, and they started sending me the history of the Blue Note Records. And Blue Note Records has been around. It's their 80th anniversary season of being a recording studio that produces albums out of Chicago.
Right.
And they create a certain type of a little bit edgier jazz. Miles Davis was a Blue Note jazz performer. Well, Louis Armstrong too. I mean, they did mainstream jazz, but they also had this kind of sound that was a Chicago style jazz. It's a little like wherever you go for barbecue.
Yeah.
If you go wherever you go, they always say the flavor of their barbecue is a little unique. Well, Chicago thinks the flavor of their jazz, rightfully so, is unique. And what's special about this concert is that Candace Springs and James Francis and the James Cart Organ Trio, all three groups, all have very successful albums out, and all three do full concerts just by themselves.
Right.
And they put the three of them together in this one tour and then at the end of the concert, they all three play together, and that almost never happens.
Right.
And so it's a really unique chance to see three different flavors of Chicago jazz in one concert, and then afterwards, I should add, since I've been in town, I've become dear friends with the San Juan Jazz Society, and they're doing an afterglow party at the Civic Center after the concert. And they're going to have a group of local musicians playing at a room set up in the Civic Center, and Chef Mark is going to be selling hors d'oeuvres, and the Clancy's Bar will be there, and it'll be a chance to, after the concert, get together with a whole group of people that just experienced that concert, as well as listen to some good local jazz.
How great, right? A whole evening of it, right?
A whole evening
You've
of
got
jazz.
It all planned.
And I think the Afterglow tickets are like $10. I think.
Okay. And can we get them on the Civic Center website
You
too?
cannot.
Those are different.
You
Those are
can just
separate.
buy them at the door.
At the door after the show.
We said we could, but after the show you can.
Okay.
But the tickets to the concert are on sale by going to our website or calling us, or which is 505 is the as we know, then 599-1148.
That's the number to call the box office to
or you
buy
can
over
come
the phone.
down and see us.
That's true. You can. That's very true.
Absolutely.
We do have a clip of a couple of these performers as part of this tour, this Blue Note 80th anniversary tour that are coming to Farmington and the Farmington Civic Center. The show is November 15th.
That's correct.
Right?
At 7:30?
7:30 in the theater. And let's take a listen to Candace Springs and some of her music here as we talk a little bit about this performance that's coming up, everyone. Music from Candace Springs, who is going to be appearing here at the Farmington Civic Center, along with the others as part of the Blue Note Records 80th anniversary show. Randy West is my guest here in our studio talking about this upcoming show. And November 15th is
Absolutely.
the date. And I just want to point out to folks that the price for your tickets to see this show at your venue is going to be a lot different than seeing it maybe in Houston, Texas, or
Absolutely.
Tempe, Arizona, or Nashville, Tennessee.
The highest price ticket to this concert is $28.
Okay.
So, and depending on, you can still buy in and buy multiple. If you buy if you buy two concerts in this series, you get the third one free, which basically reduces it below even the $28 ticket if you're buying an adult ticket.
That's true. And so, but again, you can't touch that price
No.
in some of these other
Not
venues.
even close.
I know maybe double it.
At least.
Is what I
Yeah.
would think. So, and as you mentioned, these are performers that stand on their own. They do the solo performances in concerts all over the country, and they're all together now for this tour.
Right,
And it's
and
a great
that's very
opportunity to
unique.
see them, right?
It's Candace Springs, James Francis, and the James Cart Organ Trio, and they all are playing individual sets in this concert, and then at the end of the concert, they're all three groups are playing together, and that's also very unique and very special.
Okay, we have a clip from James Francis,
Okay.
too. I want to let folks know kind of what he sounds like as well, because he's part of this great tour and this
Absolutely.
great show. So let's give a listen to that, everybody, here on KSJE. little bit of sample of music from James Francis, who will again be performing at the Blue Note 80th anniversary concert here at the Farmington Civic Center coming up on Saturday, November 15th. Randy West is my guest here in our studio, the manager of the Civic Center, who has gotten all these folks to come to Farmington and on their way between Houston and Nashville and all these other big places. So again, a great season of performing. Well, thank you for bringing them to our community.
It's a thrill. It's a thrill, and my family moved here 8 months ago now,
right?
And we totally love Farmington, and it's a thrill to be able to bring these performing people to the Civic Center. And I can tell you, after every concert, people come up to me and just say, who would think we could have this talent in our town? And of course, all I'm responsible for is having enough contacts to get in touch with them and say, you'd love to come here, and everybody does. I will tell you, everybody that plays here loves Farmington.
Well, that's great. And again, I always point out, though, if we want to, let's keep supporting the arts and we want these folks to keep coming back, it's important that we buy tickets and support the things that folks are doing.
And, I tell everybody when they come to see it, tell your friends.
That's right.
That's we're baby steps. As everybody knows, we've been closed for 2 years for renovation. We're coming out of renovation, and we're building audience with everything that we do. But it's really important that you not only come, but if you come and like what you see, tell everyone you know.
That's right.
Because that's the only way that we're going to build the audience that we really need to sustain this.
That's very important. And again, kudos to the city, who I think is making an investment in the arts.
Absolutely.
By kind of helping you to bring these folks into town. And again, it's important that the community supports it. And again, not just Farmington, but I think all of the Four Corners. There's no reason why you listeners and viewers in Durango, talking to you, can come down and see a show at the Civic Center.
We're opening up what we're doing. First of all, the tourism people in town.
Yes, of course.
They spend most of their energy trying to get people from outside of Farmington to come to what we're doing.
That's right.
And we're making strides in that. But certainly Durango and the surrounding communities should be coming to the Civic Center, as well as the people who live here. And part of our overall goal is to make the people that live here happy that they're here and want to stay here, and businesses from outside to relocate here, and people from outside to come here. And
that's right.
That's all kind of part of the goal of the Civic Center.
That's true. And I know Durango, my Durango, Colorado friends, you can make a Target run if you need to while you're here. You can have some Olive Garden breadsticks while you're here, things you can't get in Durango, so make a day of it. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
That's right.
So. And coming up in the following week, with the Intimate Broadway series, we have John Smitherman, who I've known for many years. John was one of the three American tenors back in the day,
right?
And he sung on Broadway, and he's been the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera.
We see him on the screen now, right?
He's been in Jekyll and Hyde, and he's also been in Les Mis. A big, strong voiced tenor,
right?
And he's doing very accessible musical theater mostly. We are putting together. We have a 10-piece band with professional musicians from our area.
Local band.
That are accompanying him. And he's doing a full concert on November 23rd.
Okay.
And that's in the Intimate Broadway series, which is where we're bringing in performers that aren't full Broadway shows, but people who have Broadway experience and who have national reputations coming in, kind of doing an intimate concert with people in the Civic Center.
Okay. And we have a clip of John, so
great.
We'll play a little bit from him, give folks a little taste of what they will hear on November 23rd at the Farmington Civic Center, everyone.
The sweetest
dream the impossible dream. Goodbye, the unbeatable foe.
Some of the music of John Smitherman, who is coming to the Farmington Civic Center on November 23rd as part of the Civic Center's Performing Arts Series this season. I'm Scott Micklin. My guest Randy West is also joining me from the Farmington Civic Center, who has arranged for all these acts to come and stop in Farmington. And so he's got a lot of great range, doesn't he? And a lot of great representations of Broadway.
A very warm, very friendly concert.
Yeah.
And a great singer, just a world-class singer coming in to share what he does best with our group, backed up by a 10-piece local orchestra. So it should be a fun night of musical theater.
Very good, very good. And you mentioned to me during that clip that you're going to be doing auditions.
I can't tell you when. We're going to be doing auditions in November.
Such a tease.
It is, and it's about to be announced everywhere. But we're looking for local performers to help us in January. Ann Ranulfson, who's a very famous Broadway singer, is coming in to do a concert called Heroine Song, and all the music is going to be female empowerment songs.
Okay.
And she's sending to my wife, Margaret Clare, some of you might know Margaret, sending her information, music that Margaret will, out of the audition, will pick females, and it can be females from children to senior citizens that want to learn music that Margaret will teach.
Okay.
And then Anne is coming into town 3 days early to coach the local talent and then put them in her concert with her.
Wow.
So that's in January.
Okay.
We're also looking for a 10 to 12-year-old boy with a good belt to sing Disaster. It's a very funny role. He plays himself and his twin.
Okay.
So he plays the boy and the sister, both. Same talent.
Okay.
And
I may have aged out of that
okay.
role. I'm sorry. But someone else is out there, I'm sure.
But and we're looking for a couple ensemble slots for Disaster, and
Okay.
that comes in February.
Right.
And then in January, Ed Asner is coming to town on January 4th. He's doing a very funny play called God Help Us, where he plays God, and we're casting a male and female talent that do not have to sing, but they have to be funny. One of them plays a Republican and one of them plays a Democrat, and they both are active in both of their parties, and they're also a couple. So it doesn't matter what age they end up, but they need to be comparable age. If
I
they're
see,
both
sure.
in their late 20s or both in their mid-30s.
Right.
And those are paid roles that
Okay.
we're looking for to play opposite Ed Asner. I will work with them before he comes into town, and then 3 days before his actual performance in January, he and his director will work with the local talent. So
Okay.
we're casting all of that in November.
Stay tuned.
And I think probably pretty close to the middle of November.
Okay, well that's soon, everybody.
Absolutely.
So I would say watch the Civic Center Facebook page
And
for
our
announcement
webpage,
and the website
right,
with the
and
city.
And we will be doing an announcement.
Sure, and I just want to mention, in case folks didn't hear, you said Ed Asner.
Ed Asner.
The Ed
The
Asner,
Ed Asner
is coming to Farmington
in January
the spring.
to do a very fun. He's going to play God.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
Who else?
Who else? I know. That's typecasting, I think, is what you're talking about.
Right.
But a wonderful interview this morning, Randy West. I can't thank you enough for coming
My
in
pleasure.
once again this week. It all starts with Ronnie Cox. Again, the Deliverance screening, that classic movie that I think everyone is familiar with, November 8th. That's this Friday.
That's correct.
At the Civic Center.
7:30, intimate setting.
And then Ronnie Cox, New Mexico born and bred, everyone, who's just inducted into the Music Hall of Fame in our state.
Absolutely.
Performing on November 9th. That's Saturday, 7:30.
With his band.
With his band, right? We saw a few clips of that. And then, of course,
On
next
November
week,
15th, we do the Blue Note Records 80th birthday celebration with 3 different terrific performers, and then all 3 of them performing together at that concert, followed by an afterglow by the San Juan Jazz Society. And then on November 23rd, we have the American tenor John Smitherman doing a full concert with a 10-piece local orchestra.
something for everybody, I
Absolutely.
think, is what you've done here. So
Thank you.
And that's just November, everybody. There's much more coming up, I know, in December and 2020.
Absolutely.
It's a whole other show. We could stay here all morning, but we can't.
Thank you,
But
Scott.
we are
Thank
out
you.
of time. Randy West, thank you.
My
from the
pleasure.
Farmington Civic Center, my guest here on KSJE. And I'll be back with more in just a moment, everybody. The time right now is 8:42.
Banking. You can move fast, but please don't break things. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace Tech, demystifying the digital economy. I'm Molly Wood.
Marketplace Tech is supported by Home Advisor, helping homeowners find the right pros for their home projects. Homeowners can read reviews, book appointments, and check cost guides for any project at homeadvisor.com. And by Fracture, creating photo decor by printing photos on glass. A Fracture is image, frame, and mount all in one, handmade in a carbon-neutral factory. FractureMe.com/marketplace.
The tech industry is coming for traditional banking. Digital payment apps are changing how we move money around. A wave of so-called neobanks, all digital services that let people do everything on a smartphone without any branches, is cropping up in the U.S. And companies are using new ways to evaluate people for loans. Plus, tech companies like Amazon, Apple, and Uber are offering credit cards or getting into financial services. It is, shall we say, an interesting time to be a banking regulator. Yelena McWilliams is chairman of the FDIC, best known for providing federal insurance to licensed banks. But the agency also has oversight and consumer protection responsibilities. McWilliams told me that, yep, there's a lot going on.
The question for us on a regulatory side is, are we going to be standing in the way of that innovation, or are we going to be open-minded enough while making sure that the banks are safe and sound and there's adequate protection? I do think that the banks of the future are going to be more agile, and I do believe that those banks will service not just the financial needs of the customers, but perhaps expand even above that.
What are the biggest innovations that you're seeing? You know, when these banks say, oh, we're doing this digital innovation, what do they mean, or what are you seeing happening?
Usually what we see is the way that they're able to reach customers and consumers and underwrite models of credit risk by far more quickly and based on alternative data products. That's what we're seeing right now. They're using folks' Starbucks receipts and how much money is coming in and out of their accounts on a monthly basis to be able to underwrite loans to customers. And that's truly novel, because for decades our credit risk scoring models in the United States have been based on purely the use of credit. So if you have immigrants who are new to this country, if you have folks who are unbanked or underbanked who had